never really know what to set this monitor gain at. I mean, I just try to feel it out every time, but yeah, I just got this like fat knob. I just have to tweak it just a bit. Okay. Hey guys, welcome. Wow, why are my audio levels so low? Is it not high enough? I don't know. It's just I'm just looking at the wave format right now. It's just looking quiet, but I'll just have to listen to this after I ramble for a bit. Cause that's actually what I'm gonna be doing for at least the beginning of this episode. So hey guys, it's just Theo for the morning, and my mate's out to work because the work schedules have been just kind of been reorienting themselves as we get through back to like the world reopening. And I think it's gonna go pretty quickly, so it might be kind of jarring for folks that have been just sitting and kind of just idling while, you know, not really knowing what to do while people figure stuff out. So just a lot of just on call, kind of just, you know, having your thumb to the pulse of the happenings in the world. But yeah, again, so I'm just starting off this episode 14, I want to say. I think I got that right. Episode 14 of TreeBark, where it's just me right now. I'm alone in my room with my thoughts, and that's usually not a good combo, but here we are. And I just wanted to go over the kind of like current state of this week and how things have been going, and then I'll just wait for Blargh to come back, and then we can kick this show off proper together. But I've honestly just been trying to focus on reorienting myself to get back into the flow of putting out more art and working more on refining myself as an artist, because man, I just felt like I went through like a pretty rough spill mentally where I wasn't feeling creative, and I wasn't feeling the drive or the satisfaction of like doing art for a little bit. And it was kind of like me having to slowly like kind of start the engine in my brain again, because like all of the cogs stopped, and feel kind of I don't know what you would call it, like the motivation or something a little bit deeper than that, like more like the appreciation for the craft again, because it took me a long time to like even really appreciate and feel the inspiration from even my favorite art or artists online, and I was like, wow, like what happened? But I think it was just that kind of, you know, just that mental reset that I need every once in a while, and I think that's pretty healthy. Like even if it slaps you in the face, it's like, hey, chill out. You'll be fine. Just don't worry about it too much until, you know, like some things sort out themselves, or like you don't pay attention to them, and you just kind of just hit the mental reset button so that you can just move on with your work. And it's always rough. And I never see it when it comes, because like I wouldn't even like say that it's a artist block or anything, because I never really felt scared about starting a piece, or I could get through commissions and be like, yeah, this looks pretty good, but the mental olfactory kind of like reward and dopamine receptors were just like, nah, we're not gonna work right now. So it's like, oh, where did I put all my serotonin? But anyway, I'm on the upswing now, and it feels great. Like I feel like when I get to that really low period of like the roller coaster that is like emotions and life and stuff, I start to think more deeply about like, hey, you know, everything feels like it sucks, and you may try to like go into your little echo chamber and look online and look at all the sucky stuff in life and be like, yeah, I'm right, and I'm kind of digging myself in this hole where it's like things are more negative, and I'm hyper focusing on it for just really no reason other than making myself suffer more than I have to. And it's from kind of going into those depths that I realize, like as I keep doing this, like maybe, you know, every other month or like once in a blue moon, I'll just feel that total like unfulfillment. So it's harsh, but it's also a good reminder and a slap in the face, and like a good meditation period for myself to be like, slow your roll, remember what you're grateful for and what you appreciate, and you know, stop and smell the roses. As like cliche as that is, it's like just look at what's going around you, and you don't have to have an opinion on everything. Like I don't have to have some opinion on some politician that I've never met that's in a state that I'll never live in, or, you know, it's just crazy. It's like, get off Twitter. It's like, get off social media, get off YouTube. Just kind of sit there and ruminate with your own thoughts like once in a while. And I think I really did need that. So now I can like properly engage with the world again, and like not worry about every little incremental detail about what's the happenings around me. I can just take it step by step. So I try to do that by forming it into my art. I now feel a little bit more excited now to talk about art with people, to get conversations going, to then making it myself. And I'm really fortunate that things really are good around me, and I'd rather enforce focusing on everything getting better, people moving forward, progress getting done. That's this upswing that I really do like want to try and manage a bit better every time. So right now I do have still to like reiterate from the last time I announced it, I am still on this break from Patreon, because that was another thing that was like becoming something that I felt like I couldn't handle, and I wasn't being fair to people with. And I made a poll or a survey before about kind of gauging whether or not people wanted the... I personally set up myself for each week to make a comic page, to make an artist interview, and also pump out commissions. And I got really ambitious, and I could handle it for about maybe a month, almost 2 months, and I was pretty consistent. But I was riding that huge like adrenaline motivation train, and it doesn't always last, especially when you're only on the hype of it, on the hype of like your energy that gets you through putting and pumping out all those things so consistently. And it's something that I think about so much, because I look at like the super cool inspirational artists, and it seems like that's what they do on a surface level, and I get caught up in that too easily. Taking the time to really think about like the inner workings of how they manage their time, how they batch load a lot of work, and then slowly release out content gives that kind of illusion that, oh, there's just like rapid fire stuff every single day. But no, it only comes from like listening to podcasts with different artists and conversations that I try to really pay attention to. It comes from that steady kind of just iterative step-by-step planning. And that's kind of I kind of equate it to like a job, at least like my, you know, kind of mundane day job that I have now. And when it's very like robotic, when it's routine, it's like you just get used to it. Maybe it's exciting for the first week or the first month, and once you get the duties down, the routine down, then it's just automatic mode from then on. Like you don't have, it's like driving a car. Like you wake up, you get in your car, you drive to wherever work, if it's work every morning. You don't even remember driving there. It's just like, oh, I'm already at work. I don't think like once you get so used to something, it just becomes another thing that you're then doing. And I want to have that sort of like automatic nature with the way I handle myself in my own kind of like my own art business and practices, because that's really, I don't have a mentor. I don't have somebody to rely on for me getting better at art. I'm not in art school. I'm not paying anything to try and learn more fundamentals other than like the things that are free and available online. I really try to push myself in that way, because it's like that's like the most rational option for me, at least right now. So it's a lot of self like kind of discipline, and I think that it only kind of gets it'll always be hard. And I've listened to a lot of professionals like Trent Kanuga. He's a really cool artist. Cynics, Psychra, all of these other people online on YouTube who offer so many great lessons for free, and that encapsulate their own motives and drives within their own work. And you can learn so much from that, all for free. You just subscribe to them on YouTube and stuff. Or follow social media things, and like just try to take bits and pieces here and there to just learn from, and not not be like me and try to bite the whole damn pizza at once and then get heartburn and acid reflux later because you couldn't ingest all of the lessons and then get fed up about it. That's that's not, full discretion, that's not gonna be healthy in the long run. So I'm really trying to focus on the pacing of things, and be like, my work, when I start a painting, when I start, heck, even the sketch for the painting, that's all small baby steps. Like I'm gonna set out to do the thumbnail today, or I'll do 3 thumbnails because I have a commission to work on. So just last night I did a handful of thumbnails, getting some ideas kind of cooking, and I'm like, okay, I could refine some of this, and then I can get back to the client. And I'm like, no, I could have a super fast high turnaround time, but that's exactly what's been burning me out. So I'll just end it for the night, and it's already like 9 or 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, no, I want a nice fresh start. I want to have fresh eyes to get back to the project. So I'll just go to bed, or I'll be on my phone for another half an hour, just flicking through TikTok or whatever. And that's like, that's also another bad habit. But hey, I think it's just like, if you want to be on the couch and you want to have that rest couch potato mode, then just focus on that. And there was another really great video, not to ramble too much, like about taking care of the USS, the SSU. So it's like the Starship U, like YOU, where amidst this pandemic, everyone's out. Like, there was this video on YouTube about this guy explaining about how you should take care of yourself and pretend like you're in a capsule, where you're focusing on your mental health, your physical health, and how you should cycle that through the day so that you don't burn out, and that you make yourself safe and everyone else around you is better off, if we're all trying to like pull together to take care of not only ourselves, but the awareness of everyone else's health. That's really important. Yeah, getting back to just taking the practices from the professionals and the great people, like the giants, whose shoulders you stand upon, that you learn from. And I take this very, very deeply. It's like, I want to only pursue this craft with the knowledge that I'll get better at it. And that is so, like, in my darkest moments, in my lowest periods, I'm like, if you're facing this challenge that everyone is facing, and you're freaking, like, your face is to the ground, you've been beat by maybe criticism, or your own criticism, actually. Like, I am my worst enemy, and like the only thing I can compare myself is to the person I was yesterday. And I always try to not be so critical in those kind of moments, because I know it'll hinder me in the future. So again, kind of like going through this so many times. I've gone through the low periods way more than I could ever recant. Like, it's just like so crazy how it seems like it's such a natural cycle that I'm becoming more like accepting of it. Like, oh, if I'm going through this, it will get better, because I undoubtedly have the will to at least know that I'm gonna always attempt to do something. And that's what makes me like think about so many other moments in my life where I'm like, I've failed, but did I give up? Because it's the giving up that really kept me from pursuing anything else, like in academia or sports or any other thing or field or interest that I've ever had before. I stopped trying at that thing, and it wasn't till I got into art and bodybuilding that I focused on the physical and mental aspects of my health. And I'm like, you know what, god damn it, I'm still a young adult, and since like about like 3-4 years ago now already, I focused on just those two things, and it doesn't matter what's happening else, what's happening like all around in the world. Like, I'm focusing on just me, and because I think that I can give back in a greater way once I have myself set up in that way, where I'm now producing more and more content from my artwork. I'm feeling more confident about making original stuff in my style that people are actually starting to note, like appreciate, and they want to see more of that. And that's such a great feedback loop. I think everyone should try to focus on like getting better at some kind of craft or something that they really do get a kick out in life, because other than that, I guess, like, what else do you have? You just have a job or something that you go to every day, and it just becomes that thing that you do. And well, I mean, I think I don't know about those statistics or whatever, or what they say, but you know, I've never gotten really a good grasp on like every single person who's ever had a job has ever loved their job. But I think that those who put in the most amount of work and effort into their job do love it to a certain degree, at least. And there was this kind of point brought up before in a conversation, where I was asking like, oh, do you think about art, you know, like at your job? And especially if it wasn't an art related job, then they were saying, well, no, if I'm at my job, I should be working and thinking about the productivity in that section. And that was such a good point, because it's like I should have at least my focus on just the task at hand and not worry about the other thing that I'm going to do later. And that was really valuable to like kind of take to heart, because I didn't have to worry about so many other things that were giving me, you know, this type of like anxiety. So I've been just learning to kind of slow my roll and just know that everything again is like incremental. And as long as you don't totally stop the ball, even if you have to do it just for a little bit to take a break, then that's still healthy. That's still a productive decision. And taking the time to like even talk to some friends or family or something, that's all very valuable, and that's worth it, even when you feel worthless. And I don't mean to like be a guru or anything right now. I just feel like this is a bit of therapy time for me to kind of talk about things that I only want to talk about to myself. And I want to maybe just have this platform right now that I do to just share that kind of like personal kind of, you know, trains of thought. And if somebody gets something out of that, then that's all I can hope for, even for like my art and whatever I do. If somebody just gets like a little bit like, oh, I'll give that a try, or I felt the same way, then that's the kind of connection I like. Not to get too meta or anything. Yeah, so that was like basically my little spiel right there, my little soapbox. Going on to like more interesting things, I think. I am working on a few paint commissions though for this month. I do have some sketches and some thumbnails in the works, and it's kind of exciting because I do have this one paint commission where the client, they want a Bronco type like Jeep truck, and I've never seen like a car like this, and it looks super cool. And they talked about adding all these modifications to it. It's like a really cool like mini Jeep truck that's like this really nice blue, and it's got like these lifted huge tires for off-roading and like going on the beach and stuff. It looks so dope. I love it. So I've never really had the opportunity before to like paint or render vehicles before, so I'm really trying to nail that, get the perspective down and everything, and get all the little like details that I think that they'd appreciate. So I'm gonna try and see if I can get those approved. And I'm still on hold for one more paint commission. That one I'm not too sure yet. They have to get back to me with the ideas and the ref material. But yeah, it's looking good, and I'm still putting out work, and that's the important thing. As for the comics, for people who have been itching to know like when the next page is out for Howl and Jasper, I am gonna be roughing out something at least, if not today as an outline, then this weekend. I'm excited to just, you know, like after this kind of little period, get back into it. So there is that. It's still gonna be happening, and it's a project that I know that I can't rush because I still want to think about the characters and their motives, and even though it's kind of like a simple like, you know, cut and dry like like how some people sometimes will summarize the furry comics, be like meet, bang, conclusion, that's it. Like I think I can do a little bit more something in depth. I mean, I'm no director, I'm no like story board artist, or this is my first crack at a comic, I mean, after all. So I just want to put a little bit of like my best into it, to make it like a little lighthearted, fun, stupid, kinky a little bit. And I think that's like if I can enjoy that whole process, then I think people will notice that. So yes, Howlin' Jasper, I think, goddamn, like I think I only did like six. So page seven, yes, is in the works, and I do have the whole story written out actually, but it's all about like taking it page by page and figuring out the composition of the layout of the panels to the word blurbs matching up with the actions, and making sure that you have the nice like very well communicated idea for each panel. And that's been, if anything, the biggest challenge. And having to do that nonstop every week was the really rough thing, because it's like I overstep. It's like laying out train tracks as you're riding the train down the hill. So that's what it kind of felt like. And I just want to lay those tracks a little bit more steadily and way more ahead of myself before I get to them now. So yes, a lot of things are still like, oh my god, I have so many ideas, so many plans to still put out there. But it's also just being your own boss, being a person who has a day job, that it's like, just, you're not a full-time artist yet, but that's the ultimate goal. And all of these things that I'm doing now is to get to that goal. So yeah, if you really want to know at the heart of like what it is that I'm trying to get at, it's like I want to put out all the stuff that I can at a decent quality, all the while improving myself, all the while like having fun. That's I think the best that I can do, and not being too critical. So as long as I can put out the goods while having fun, then I think a lot of more people will vibe with that, and they'll be like pretty enjoyable. So I'm still alone. I thought the babe would be back by like, it's like 11 right now, but his job could last anywhere between like a couple hours for what he got called in for to like a whole day. I'm not too sure. But yeah, let's try to just cut to that later when they're there. So I'll see you guys in a bit. And bam, I can continue recording like that. So the listeners was listening to me spiel a little bit, but now my babe's here, and it's like 9 o'clock p.m. So
I can hear you spiel while I'm here instead of you spieling in the morning.
You can hear, yeah, this is an in-person thing now. There's no Skype call or Discord going on here.
Well, not yet, at least.
Yeah, I want to still get back to the interviews ASAP. Waiting on a few artists still.
You want to give any hints about them or not?
I think they kind of want to be like non-disclosed yet, because like some people are a little shy. So I'm letting them just like think about it. I don't want to be pushy about anything or like make anything set in stone. So I think I'll just leave them as surprises. But yeah, so it's like 9 p.m. right now, and it's getting kind of warm. People, Hawaii is pretty humid already, and if there's no trade winds, oh my god, it's like a furnace. It's cray. But tonight's like kind of relatively cool. We have a little bit of wind. How are things in the Blargh sphere?
The Blargh sphere?
Yeah.
Besides like talking to Animal Crossing characters right now to catch up things in the biogas range, because I need it. Consumerism.
He's playing Animal Crossing right now on Switch.
Yeah, I know. Because my mom wants me to open it. Yeah. Mom, you're gonna watch this in the future, and I'll be talking about you right now. About your past self? Or
yeah.
She watches this in in the future, which she will.
Yeah.
And then it's just gonna be her past self. Oh.
Somebody's visiting.
My mom.
Oh.
She's visiting.
Well, we say hi from the future, present, past. No. So it's been kind of super unorganized, and it's been hot. But I've been trying to get more organized now with the show, and as time goes on, I hope things get better and more organized. I would hope. So I made a TreeBark podcast Telegram chat. It's just a private chat right now, so it's set up so that we can throw in, like, throughout the day when we're at work or doing things, whatever, when we're on our phones, if we find like an interesting article or a stupid meme that we just want to talk about, or just like things trending in the furry sphere, the furry world, we could just chuck it in the Telegram chat so that we can pull it up later and talk about. Right now it's mostly memes.
I mean, the most current meme right now is
which one?
Elon Musk's child's name, I think, is kind of one of the big ones, I think, is roaming around.
Yeah, so Elon recently had a baby boy, and he and Grimes have came up with a name that's, upon looking at it, you can't even pronounce it, and that's why it's all kind of memey. And it's like something AI, the symbol for AI that you pronounce like Zay or something like that, with A17 like after a stealth jet, which is crazy. Like, it's called an Archangel 17 or something like that. It's a really dope jet, and it's like, oh man, that's so badass. Why wouldn't I want to name my boy after that? So people have been kind of going ham on that and making the memes. And he recently he's been on Joe Rogan's podcast again, and it's always like, I'm always excited to listen to what that guy has to talk about. Joe's a really good interviewer too, and it's just fun kind of hearing like these people that you hear online so much professionally doing their things with their career, owning companies, and it's just really nice to hear them as a real person sit down and chat. That's why I think that's why, like, mostly, like, I really enjoy podcasts, because it's like super casual, and it's like, wow, I'm just gonna sit down, chill, and then try to just vibe with these people talking.
Almost better than reading a book sometimes. Well, I mean, like, so like,
how do you compare it to an audiobook?
I think it's kind of like in the same vein of audiobooks, to be honest.
Okay.
Because you're kind of, I don't think, so sometimes, I guess it depends on the podcast. Like, if you're super interested in it, like listening to Star Talk. Like, there's some points in Star Talk where you kind of like stop doing and just kind of listen.
Yeah, because they have really interesting factoids and stuff.
That, or it's like they go into a really confusing point and you just have to sit there and think about it for a while.
Yeah. Sometimes when the guests have like a really like professional, like super in-depth researcher that's on like the fringe of their fields in development and stuff, you got to really pay attention to like what they're talking about and try to digest what they're saying, because sometimes it's really cool. Like, they'll talk about black holes, or they'll talk about like the economy in some like real-time way that's like devolving before us. Just like it's a whole new format that's like I haven't really appreciated until as of late. Like just listening while on long drives or like kind of at the mundane workplace or something. But yeah, so looking back at our memes on our Telegram channel, we have at the top, there's this one that's been going around. I've been seeing a lot of furry artists comment on it, and it's like this. What is the Joker and Batman? It's one of the episodes from the cartoon channel. I don't even know what series I think it actually might be on Netflix. I'm not sure. But there's this shark person, and they look like a villain, and I don't know the gender of the shark. They're tag teamed with Harley Quinn, and then this cop guy comes out with a detective. The detective comes out with his partner, and they're like, the guy goes like, oh my ex, I can't deal with this right now. And she's like, oh, you were with Harley Quinn? He's like, oh, no way, you think I'm mad? And then it goes back to the shark villain, and then the shark villain winks at the dude. It's like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
Kinky.
And then everyone's just like super for it, and they're like, god damn.
Has there any been fan art of that?
I'm
Are
pretty sure you can check
I don't even know what it would have to
E6.
search. Well, yeah, it's true. E6 has everything.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure, but I'm sure it's on the way if it isn't already.
Ship them.
And then like in other kind of topical meme news, like there's this other this other Twitter post where it says the rooters photos of the strip club in Oregon operating as a drive-through takeaway service confirm that we have reached the neon anime sci-fi part of our culture future dystopia. And it's this it's really funny. There's this like adult drive-through with strippers on each side pole dancing for people to just drive through, keep the social distancing, and they're wearing gloves and masks for people to tip into like these tin buckets. So it's pretty wild, and they're all wearing like gas masks, and there's neon lights, there's like strobe lights. It's just wild.
I think it's okay. I think it's interesting.
Do you
imagine having like just automated electric vehicles just slowly driving through?
Oh, like a little roller coaster?
Yeah, like you can just
It's
like,
like
oh yeah, I want to go to like the strip street or whatever.
It's like a sci-fi Disney world. It's a small world, but it's all just it's all just boobs
precursor
and
to cyberpunk.
yeah. And like cyberpunk had, I like the like in Blade Runner there was the big hologram girls. They were basically advertisements, but it was like, whoa, this is the future of like persuasive advertising.
Specifically the more recent Blade Runner.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Because I think the Blade Runner, the first one, didn't really have too much in the holograms. I don't think.
Yeah, their
like
CGI wasn't as crisp. Maybe it was suggested, but I didn't notice it either.
I don't recall. It's been a while.
And I found there hasn't been a whole lot of news. I'll just be totally transparent about that. But mainly from Twitter though too. I saw this really cool post. I don't know if you checked out this one, but it was a post by DJ Code Y Photo Furf NL.
The Connect 4, and they play with the kids in the hospital.
Yeah, so there was this furry, and there were kids in a hospital that were looking out of a window, and this guy was basically just playing Connect 4 like with the kids on a crane with a giant Connect 4. It's pretty crazy. It's really cute too. He's got big glasses on, and the kids look like they were enjoying themselves. So that's like a little bit of good news, and like that's just like so heartwarming. I like seeing this kind of stuff. I'm just making people happy. I don't really. That's basically we just dried out our Telegram chat from how little has been going on.
I mean, it was a pretty recent thing, so I guess I just have to build up on it when we find more weird and interesting, quirky things. Ooh.
What's going on?
Alistair. Alistair's such a fun character in that show.
Yeah, Has Been Hotel. I haven't seen much on that actually. Maybe I should click on that. Live Twitter feed updates brought to you by Theo. Let's see. I don't know. Like I've in terms of like loosely paying attention to things online, I've seen a few companies just release tech here and there. Like just kind of casually update their products, from like Apple and Microsoft just dropping like, or even Google too, dropping earbuds, updating laptops and stuff. But beyond that, it's been kind of a slow trickle, and we are expecting to see more things open this month. We already have beaches and parks open, and really the only huge change that we've been seeing is that people have been wearing masks more often. That's of course a mandate when going into any restaurant or
just anywhere. If you go into any facility, it's pretty much just wear a mask.
Yeah. So you basically can't go anywhere without a mask. That's gonna be like everyone's like what do you call like carry on now? Carry? What's that thing called when you carry like a Leatherman or like a on carry?
I'm not sure what term you're actually like trying to aim for right now, so I'm just gonna let this one go.
You carry like a Leatherman, stuff on your belt, you know, like you call it your carry. What is it called? I don't even know. It's too late. It's like my bedtime already.
I just wear it.
Just your on hand. Yeah, just
on
stuff. Yeah.
Somebody somebody put a comment like, oh yeah, here's the term that you're thinking of.
So yeah, so one thing that I'm really interested in seeing reopen are just restaurants, so we can actually sit in, dine somewhere that has a nice atmosphere and just kind of enjoy a dining experience again. Having takeout everywhere has just been kind of like this casual hodgepodge thing of just picking up the food, sitting in a car, eating.
Or you can just take the food to a nice area and just sit in the car and eat.
Exactly, but we'll still be in the car.
Just change one variable about it.
We're still going to be in the car. It's like, oh yeah, let's drive to the park and then sit in the car and not do anything else.
Yeah, because you can only exercise through the park.
So you can take it home. Yeah, everything's just passing by. You only can go through things without stopping, or the cops will get on you for like enjoying yourself sitting in the grass or something. And again, like that's nothing I can be angry about because it's just for the safety of people. So we're gonna ride out this one kind of like slow trickle month of just stuff to do besides like the regular workplace stuff. At least my job too, my day job is they're giving me more hours, I guess, even though I was getting paid for 40 anyway. But they went from 3 days out of the week to 5 days out of the week, but they're still reducing hours a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we have much to go on right now. So instead of kind of like droning about, we'll get back to you guys with probably I want to say the next episode, not promising anything, will probably be an interview. So we'll see you guys then, and I hope you guys stay safe and yeah, just are okay and happy.
I hope so. I hope they're okay and happy. Because if you're not happy, you should talk to somebody.
Yeah, that's nice. Talking with people is pretty fun.
I mean, hugs are limited.
Send them an e-hug.
They're as limited as Switches right now.
That's like a whole nother can of worms we're not going to be talking about already because we're ending the show.
We could talk about that though. I love. I don't know. Maybe we'll just talk about it in the next one.
Okay.
Maybe I'll find a Switch by then, so I can brick this one that I have.
Okay, stay tuned, folks, for Blargh bricking his Switch. And thank you so much to my Patreon supporters, starting with the patron pups: Adrian Eves, Ben Campbell, Cord Hull, Damian Adams, Knock82562, Codavir, Michael Draws, Roadwolf, Tyler Green. And a huge thanks to the official Good Boy supporters: Archon Inu, Black Mothwitch, Francis Booth, Howler, Jason, Kogo, and OK Dougal. And a huge shout out to the Top Dog supporters, starting with Artorius Nightwalker, Bryce, Damon, Ella Ryra, Ferris, Hattie, Jay Wolf, John Dem, Moody, and Yoru Pandawolf. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting my work, and if you'd like to see future endeavors, you can support me on Patreon at Shikokubo. And you can also follow my work on Twitter or FA at Shikokubo. That's SHIKOKUBO. Take care.